by the Mark Twain. Feels weird to not be making filament in the morning. Feels like empty nest syndrome. Let's take a look at what printed. A perfectly respectable 4.5 inch pug dish. A Beethoven, enough said. Another Nosferatu. The third of 3 of these skull dishes. It's been a long time since I sold one of these. The second of 2 of these T-Rex skulls. They get painted and sent out tomorrow. Here we have a sticky wicket. Yep. Yeah, this messed up. Man, that doesn't feel good. Oof, not good. I'm gonna have to measure filament diameters. I feel like this is fine. But, it's an insult. Cheese, however, is much better. Real champ. This print, which spontaneously combusted yesterday, we're remaking it, and it is going along fine. Normally, if a print did something like this, I would be like, okay, something wrong. If it just stops, I would say there's something wrong with the file. But I've used that file so many times that it's like, it must have slipped out or something. It did what happens when the SD card slips out, so it's gotta be something like that. Which is why I did it on this printer and for the next one. And like I said, it's going good. That Mimic trash can that we've been looking at for episodes and episodes, it is done. And it'll look better once it's painted, of course, but yeah. It's a real cool thing. Took me quite a while to design. And like, I've only sold 3 or 4 of these. It started life as a custom project for somebody a long time ago. Once I get the plastic and the second filament set up and maybe a couple more large printers off of eBay or something, I'm gonna make several of the items that are harder to print for Christmas. Like, sharks almost always print right. And I mean, most things print right, but like the cheese that messed up, the coffee cup that messed up, I should have probably like 3 or 4 of those easy for Christmas, because everything more or less triples. I've been, oh wait, something just popped up. I am now a member of the YouTube Partner Program. I was literally about to say something else, but this just popped up. Took me a second. What I was gonna say is I've been in the middle of Christmas and had a big print, and it just like messes up 3 times and it just screws everything up. Like, you really don't want that when you're doing like an unbelievable amount of business. You guys are gonna see in like a month. I can't even handle the fact that that's about to happen. But yeah, I'm always trying to think of how to make it through Christmas more smoothly. And we probably just got to print the more problematic things in advance. Anyway, that's pretty wild. Those are some words I've been waiting to see for a while. Wow. I don't know why it's showing me hot dogs though, but here we go. We're clicking it. And then I gotta read a wall of text. Maybe I won't try and monetize those ones that got flagged for a song. Probably doesn't matter, but it's only like 2 videos. So let's do I Will Choose. Yeah. Looks like they might do that for me. That one with the Judas Priest song that was banned in Russia because of the gay thing. It's ineligible. Kind of bizarre, but yeah, I'm gonna be going through and monetizing all the videos. It's gonna take a while because I guess I got 213, but that's fun. I think I finally found you. Kind of took forever, but I monetized all the videos. There's some part of me that's like, this isn't gonna work, something's gonna go wrong. And I'm like, I don't have any real reason to believe that, but we'll see. Kind of a random thought, but this mentor I sort of had back in college said this thing that I've never forgotten, which is anything worth doing is worth doing badly. And what that means is like, listen, if the option for doing something that you feel like you should do or whatever it is, if the option is between not doing it and doing it badly like you would when you're starting anything, just do it badly. And when I was monetizing the videos, I was kind of looking at some of the old ones. It's only a couple months ago. But I was kind of thinking like, oh, these were kind of boring or not as punchy or whatever I'm trying to do with this. I don't even know. But then it's like, anything worth doing is worth doing badly. And so I think I kind of thought that at the beginning of the series. Like, I've made videos before and stuff, but I've never really done this exactly. And I just thought like, listen, what's the worst that can happen? I'm just gonna try to make them as good as I can, but like, I'm not really like a full-time YouTuber and I don't really know what I'm doing. So I would just encourage you guys, like in whatever pursuits that you've got going on, just remember anything worth doing is worth doing badly. It's a thing that's really guided me well. It gets you to actually start. You know, like we have that perfection paralysis and just, oh, what are people gonna think and stuff like that. And you just can't do that. It's kind of a basic thing, but man, God is in the details. You know what I mean? Like the small things really matter. So yeah, do it. Do the thing. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Anyway, enough blabbing. This is a gold T-Rex. I kind of had this box sitting around and I realized it's basically the perfect shape. So we might as well use it. I just called the shipping company and had the tracking number, which even these giant shipments have tracking numbers. It's just like Amazon. But yeah, they're coming tomorrow. I confirmed, and they're probably coming about noon. So that's when I'm expecting. Usually the driver also calls me and just is like, hey, heads up, I'm coming, which part of the building, blah, 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 and all that stuff. So we are on track for a lot of plastic tomorrow, which is a load off my mind. One of those Nosferatus from the last episode. Honestly, looking pretty good. Skull bowls. I believe this was a pretty early item. Most of the time they buy them in the larger size. But I think I was kind of one of the earlier people to put a skull bowl on Etsy. I never understood why these didn't sell well. Like once you take the supports and stuff, they look pretty nice. Without the supports, now we'll smooth these guys. There we go, some pretty good looking scully boys. You guessed it, more sharks. Sending out 3 of these guys. Violin hanger, we're letting the sharks dry. First sharko. Okay, got some packages, so let's take them. Okay, also kind of random, but if you remember those big coffee cups I made right at the beginning of the series in the first couple episodes, those were for a coffee exhibition, and the person just sent me pictures, and I'm gonna make a little slideshow right now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna post those on the community tab. I want to see like 1 million pictures of people doing that. Really cool. Everyone gets a cupcake. Okay, second delivery trip. Wow, convertible truck. Meet the new boss. Same as the old boss. I was just thinking of that H.L. Mencken quote, for every complex problem, there's an answer that's simple, elegant, and wrong. I think there's another thing. It's like for every problem, there's an answer that's really simple that no one will do. Kind of random, but I heard that the record of the first Chihuahua, or the first documentation of the Chihuahua, was in a letter that Hernan Cortez wrote to the King of Spain. And I've got the transcript, and it is true. Talks about a certain area in an Aztec city where they had a bunch of things for sale, and one of the things was Chihuahuas. The only thing is they were selling them for food. Couple of capos, you know, these are for guitar. This is a moai. So some drumstick wall hangers. You guys have seen these before. Might as well use these boxes. I need some more screws. Maybe we'll go to Lowe's before it closes. Feels like I'm driving a lot today. I was just thinking about rationality and the question of whether people should be rational or not. I think historically I definitely would have said yes to that, but something kind of occurred to me. It's like, if you say something like, well, yeah, but people aren't going to be perfectly rational, a rejoinder to that often would be like, well, of course they're not going to be perfectly rational, but that doesn't mean we can't be more rational or get closer to rationality or something like that. I think I came up with an interesting counter to that. Sometimes the smallest errors are the biggest errors. When you think about somebody who's like a very, very good liar, like a con artist or something like that, the way that they do that is 95% of what they say will be absolutely true or will have to do with something they actually did. Like, if you want to lie effectively, not that I'm suggesting people do this, but what those kind of people do is they just introduce one like small false thing into what they're saying. It'll be an important thing that's false and it'll be self-serving in some way, but most of what they're saying is completely the truth. But like a lot of things historically that are some of the worst things that have ever happened were mostly true or were rooted in some kind of truth. So it's kind of like, it might be that if we're aiming at 100% perfect rationality but miss it even by a little bit, you know, these can be some of the worst errors possible. Not to get too crazy, but like that's what stuff like eugenics is. When you think about eugenics, a lot of the premises of eugenics are basically right. Like there are these like genetic pressures and stuff that affect society in different ways. But they just go that extra little leap of like, and we as humans should do something to direct this. You know, these genetic pressures that happen in society, which doesn't seem like a very big leap. It's like, okay, if there's a lot of traits that are heritable and like we want to make society better in different ways, why wouldn't you just like go that extra step and be like, we should be concerned about the genetics that exist in society in people? It sounds eugenics sounds crazy to us because we've seen the effects of it, and the 20th century shows plenty of that. But like, if you didn't know about the effects, it would seem pretty dang reasonable. So that's an example of people trying to be more rational, but just missing it by like a little bit. But some of those tiny errors end up being like the biggest errors that have ever happened almost. So like, that's just a random thought that occurred to me about rationality and its limits. Because it's like, it all seems kind of, having rationality as the thing you're pursuing seems great until you think about missing it by a little bit. Because some of those misses are huge, even though in the moment they are small. Speaking of rationality, here's a box of drywall screws. It did bother me a little bit when Taylor Swift did another song called Cruel Summer. It's like, there's only gonna be one Cruel Summer, all right? Got screws Maybe I should have got the large contractor pack. That's what I normally get, and we got some more stamps. We'll do some more letters in a bit. Black pug dish. Very teeny pug boy. Everybody gets a cupcake. 3 little dishes, 2 frog, 1 kangaroo. They're all going gold though. Now it's really time for the big one, the Mimic trash can. It's really just a little bit stringy. This will paint up nice. This thing's pretty finished. We are making this gray, not silver, gray. I messaged them asking if they wanted it silver or gray, and they never responded, even though I emailed them twice. So that sucks. Hopefully they don't give me some bad review like, wow, it's gray instead of silver. This segment sponsored by GG Gratitude Gang. Well, I guess the obvious one today is I am grateful for the new batch of plastic that's coming tomorrow. I know roughly when it's probably going to be coming here. It's coming out of Longview, Texas, and they said they have a couple other deliveries, so it makes sense that it would be maybe around noon when it gets here. Really feeling grateful that getting pretty caught up with the orders, keeping things pretty current. Feels cool that I'm doing the thank you cards. I didn't actually get any more thank you cards done today, but I think I sent out like 20 of them. That's got to have some kind of effect. Oh yeah, I almost forgot I was monetized today. Right, that's probably the main thing I'm grateful for. You have there's an applying process, and sometimes it takes a while, but it finally happened. And I turned on monetization on basically every video. I think it might take a while to actually start up, but that's pretty cool. I mean, that's, I didn't expect any of this to happen, really. And it's still pretty small and everything, but I'm grateful for you guys. I'm always grateful for you guys, but none of this would have happened unless you guys were watching these videos and clicking on them and leaving comments and all the good stuff that you guys do. I posted YouTube videos within about a year of when YouTube launched originally, but in all that time I was never monetized, even though I have like old channels that are really just however long ago 2008 was, or something like that. 16 years, I don't even know. I feel like it was actually earlier than that. Anyway, it's cool that finally happened for me. Let me know in the comments what you're grateful for, what you got going on, what your projects are, what the small moments in your day that you're enjoying and trying to appreciate. And we will see you next time. Peace out.